I think if I told my dad how much I've spent on BTS, he'd have a heart attack.
Look at this. Justy is so sexy. Basically, my entire journal is dedicated to obsessing over NSYNC.
You're watching MTV's Lifestyles of the Biggest Standums. In each episode, we'll be digging through merch collections of some of the biggest hoarders, superfans, across the country to showcase how these truly devoted stans live.
This one here is my #1 favorite.
This particular episode is dedicated to boy bands BTS and NSYNC. Is Bailey's 20-year-old stockpile of marionettes and TV guides just an assortment of junk or a pop treasure trove? We'll let you be the judge. But first, let's take a trip to sunny Southern California to get a dynamite bedroom tour from BTS stan Twee.
Hi, my name is Twee, and I am BTS's biggest stan. I've been a BTS fan for about 7 years now. I try and listen to them at least 5 hours a day, but because the lucky number is 7, because there are 7 members in the group, I'll try and listen to that much. Right now, my collection is probably worth around $30,000, but in terms of like my lifestyle, everything from like my clothes, concert tickets, I've probably spent at least $50,000. There's a lot that I've poured into it. I collect their official merchandise, things from their tour, their albums, their DVDs, their cup sleeves, anything from pins, keychains. I just love having physical things.
This one is my School Love Affair signed album, signed by all the members. I'm not sure whose handwriting it is, but I did some research. I think it could be Yoongi's handwriting, and it's addressed to this girl named Yubin. Obviously, that's not me, but I really wanted to get myself a signed album, even if it didn't have my name on it.
I think my collection has definitely evolved in size. First, it started off with just displaying little things hidden in my room, like, oh, if you were lucky, you could find a BTS thing here. But then over time, I was like, maybe just one more, and then maybe just one more turned into a whole room of it. Now it's like, if you walk into my room, every corner, every wall that you look, you'll probably see them.
This is a signed page that's signed by Jungkook, and then since he's one of my favorite members, I made the section really personalized to like his character and then some of his Polaroids. Each member has their own character. RM or Namjoon's character, Koya. This is Suga or Yoongi's character, Shuki. Bottom shelf down here is just all of BTS's like brand partnerships. So like anything from Korean face masks to Korean cosmetics or even like vitamin supplements. Of course, as a collector, you don't really use the items that you collect, so I haven't even touched these masks even though I've had them for a while. These are gonna be all of my BTS clothes. I was that kid that was like, yeah, please ask me about where I was the night before, because yes, I have a life, and yes, I was at a BTS concert. And then everything from here and beyond is clothes that boys have worn. This one is a shirt that Jimin wore in their Weverse magazine shoes. Jungkook actually wore this in his live stream. These are Hoseok's favorite brand. Jungkook and J-Hope are like obsessed with the Balenciaga Triple S's. These are the Alexander McQueen platform sneakers that I've seen Jungkook wear on multiple occasions. I do like to wear a lot of what they wear, even if it's more expensive. So in total, on each of these, I've probably spent $2,400. The shoes were about $3,000, say $400, $500 for all these books. Each pin is like $20, so like $600. The whale was like $45, and they were like about $85 each. I've probably spent around $5K on these albums.
In terms of concert tickets, plane tickets, or like accommodations, I would probably add in another $20,000. Definitely lied to my parents maybe once or twice about how much I've spent. So I'm just like, yeah, like that was like for school, or that was for like, buying desk supplies for my apartment. Like just for my dad's mental stability, I have not told him how much I've spent. He is probably better off not knowing.
This wall is my little inspiration wall to keep like my work productivity up, because gotta be motivated to work so that I can make money to see BTS.
The most meaningful item that I have is probably my Army Bomb, which is like their light stick. It's just like that thing is what you bring to every single concert to let BTS know that you're there.
This is the one that means the most to me, just because it's been to so many different concerts with me. Because of that, I decided to customize it for the world tour that was supposed to happen in 2020. I put 7,000 rhinestones on here by myself, and this one took me about 20-ish hours.
Even if you took away everything else in my collection, I would still find a way to go see BTS in concert, and I would have to bring that light stick and be like, hi, I'm here reporting for duty. In terms of people who don't really like see the hype in collecting or like standing. I think they definitely think I'm a little crazy, but they're like, you know, as long as you're happy and as long as they help you, that's all that really matters for us. I think they've always helped me through those really, really low points. Either like I'll just come home and unwind, or sometimes I'll just like cry to their music. I think the fact that there's kind of that outlet and that it feels that someone is listening there, that always is like so reassuring. BTS means so much to me because they're involved in every aspect of my life.
Most of my life is dedicated towards them. Every day I'm doing something for them. They are what their album is, the most beautiful moment in life. There's truly no one like them. They're special inside and out. They're such kind boys. They do so much for their fans. They're just like, to me, my favorite people in the whole world aside from like my family.
Now, don't any of you BTS fans turn this episode off quite yet. We're heading north to Sacramento to celebrate one of the OG boy bands, NSYNC. Stick around, you might learn something.
Hi, my name is Bailey. I live in Sacramento, California. I have been a die-hard fan of NSYNC for 23 years. I've been collecting merch since I was 12 years old, and I would love to show you what I've done with my collection. Welcome to my backyard. As you can see, I have set up my installation in Synchronicity, this time capsule of pure teenage nostalgia. So before you step inside, please be sure to read the sign. I'm an installation artist, and I had so much memorabilia from my youth. Calendars, posters, notebooks, bobbleheads, trading cards, magazines, and I felt really inspired to create this immersive experience with it to share with the world. We have all 5 NSYNC marionettes, lunch boxes, even more posters, NSYNC Barbie, TV guides, a few of my many t-shirts. When you're like 10, 11, 12, you just start collecting things, you know, you want to grab everything that you can, and at that time it's sort of shaping your identity, and NSYNC was my newest obsession after Beanie Babies. This is a favorite. NSYNC in my pocket with Lance. I like to carry this in my purse wherever I go. Great way to make connections over silly little fun facts about Lance. And I created this NSYNC poster book. Spent a lot of hours on this. There's gotta be at least 100 pages in here. Spent a lot of money on Tiger Beat and YM, you know, all those teeny bopper magazines back in the day. I think I've spent thousands. Not really that much now, but back then, when you're 12, 13 years old, it's a good amount of money. I maybe have 20 NSYNC CDs. Most of them are singles and imports. There was one time, I think I was 13, I went to Ireland on a family vacation, and the only thing I cared about was going to Tower Records so I could find imported European singles. The item that I spent the most money acquiring would be an NSYNC ticket. When I was 13, I sold my most expensive Beanie Baby Radar the Bat for $150, and I used that money to pay for an NSYNC ticket. It was a real generational like Y2K exchange. Back then, I was just trying to get my hands on everything that I could. I had 4 best friends, and the 5 of us called ourselves the NSYNC Women, so it was this competition of like who had the most posters and calendars and t-shirts and bucket hats and trading cards. I mean, really anything we could get our hands on. Here we are, all matched, ready to go to see our favorite guys. We wore our Property of NSYNC tees, which I still have. We'd get all dressed up and spray paint our hair and just be girls together and decorate our mom's minivans. Honk if you love NSYNC. My mom was so awesome for letting us decorate her car. I think I went to 6 NSYNC concerts, and I was taking pictures of the screen. Looking at them, I mean, I'm just brought back to this obsession with these guys I had never met, and just to be so all-consumed with these 5 guys is just so, I don't know, ridiculous and hilarious and adorable. Look at this. For NSYNC lovers only. I love Justin Timberlake, yay! Justy is so sexy, oh baby. My man. Being a teeny bopper in 2001, it was just a time of innocence. Just really becoming like aware of myself and aware of my surroundings and experiencing love and heartthrobs for the first time and awakening into the next phase of myself. I love pelvic thrusts. Oh my God, Justy does it so good. Yeah, basically my entire journal is dedicated to obsessing over NSYNC. This is when I went to the concert, one word, ah! This This installation is really just this time portal back into the early 2000s of boy band obsessions and all those nostalgic memories from back then. It really just takes you back to that time. I've shared it with thousands of people. It's for the world. I'm serving the world through this portal of nostalgia.
Well, it's time to say bye-bye-bye to this episode of Lifestyles of the Biggest Standoms. Whether these superfans motivate you to declutter your bedroom or to turn your personal collections into a work of art, we're glad their passions inspired you. Tune in next time when we play dress up with a Lady Gaga impersonator and get dirty with a longtime Christina Aguilera fan.